welcome to the Android, well, doesn't really have to be Android, but how to do less dependency requirements of getting your server, getting your data, so your apps have much better flexibility in swapping out their data service. I mean, if anyone's done Android before, started with async tasks, and then Volley was all the rage, and there's like retrofit, RX, and OKHTTP. So what I'm going to do here today might be multi-part depending on how long. I really don't want this to be too long. In this streaming episode, we'll just get started and a little planning more than getting started. But yeah, we'll get started with a simple idea of what we're going to do and go from there. Hopefully the streaming works and everything is good to go, hopefully. Looks like the name is all wrong, actually. It's kind of there. I will try to be better at making these events better, but good, it worked just fine. So what I'm going to do, make this easier for you, I'm going to start with whiteboarding. As you can see, I've got my Android Studio here. We're good to go. It's a very simple app, actually. Let me show you how simple of an app this is. Bam. It's a it's a simple hello world. And yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go from there. What we'll do is we're gonna have a bunch of information coming from API about we're gonna be able to search for video games, search them up, show another activity with fragment on the information, but the biggest thing we're going to work on is getting this whole data API stuff to be less dependent on tight coupling. So that let's start off with handy dandy notebook. Might have listened to these in my head. So what I want to show off. So we've got our API. It's in the cloud. It's a search API and a content API. Basically, we're going to search first, get a list of JSON of elements, and then pull from that list to grab content. This will be the detailed JSON of it. So that's one layer. From there, what I'd like us to do, we're gonna pick. I want to pick 3 different technologies to get this done. We're gonna load in Volley. Some of you may be familiar with it. I think it's the best thing in the world. So we'll load in OKHTTP. And we're going to do retrofit. I'd also like a mocked API. Mainly because I want to be able to test it. I don't actually want to do this. So this will not happen. But all of these will call to the cloud. So I've got these 3 with our own, we'll make our own custom one there. Not too bad, right? Hopefully not. So let's come back to here. So we are in Android Studio. I don't know how many people are familiar with this system, but you can go to the project structure, go to your app, go to dependencies, add library from Maven. We can pop in here, search in for volley, find the com.mc, yeah, 1.19.19, and the AER, that's one. While the AERs are really, really good, it's further back and it actually doesn't have the memory leak fixed in this AER version. 1.0.19 has the memory leak fixed, which is a leak in the error listener, but you can always look up the branch support for more information on that. So that's there. From there, let's load in. Oops, the other one. Okay, HTTP. Our good old friends at Square. Bam. And retrofit. Beta 2. Yeah. Honestly, this will be the first time I've ever used retrofit. So I actually think it uses OKHTTP under the hood, but in the end, it's not really what I'm caring about. The other thing I want to do is I want to load in Jackson. I don't know how many of you people have used it, but it's pretty sweet. It's like com.faster.jackson.core, I believe. Yep. So you'll want these three. They make things easier for me anyway. Oh, I just realized that my stream is not capturing it. So, here we go. These are the three I'm talking about. Faster.Jackson data bind coordination. That. Back, this is the library dependency. Faster.Jackson.core. And of course, let's just copy that. Add that. Library core annotations. So in the end, you should have the volley, the OKHTTP, retrofit, all the Jackson. Press OK. You'll notice it'll start with little Gradle resolving dependencies. And to get you guys back, since you missed it probably in the stream, file, project structure, app, dependencies. Excellent. Now these are all running. Huzzah. Everything's great. Well, kinda. We need to know what API I'm going to be calling. And obviously we only got this blank activity main. From here, I've got two things. I've got my main activity, I have my application test. I really want to use unit tests, so I don't know how many people have used it, but I'm a huge fan of it. Granted, I need to get better at it, so why not now? So, you know what, let's add some more dependencies. About JUnit4. What is that dependency? And of course, when you don't know, it helps to just Google it. Which, in this case, Stack Overflow to the rescue. Something I want to actually mention. So on this page, hopefully you guys give a good resolution on this. The test compile that's showing up here If you ever notice, there's test compile, there's compile. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. So here, oh, it's already in. Look at that. There's test compile, and there's compile. There's also another thing. There's a Android test compile. Look at that. This is a new version. Here, insert. What that does is that actually allows us to say import. Let's say word what is the JUnit test? Honestly, what we need to do is just start testing. But test compile means unit tests. Anything running in test, which this application does it right. Here's the example unit test. Sort of equals org.junit. Bam. And then Android instrumentation test is Android the application test. The biggest difference is this runs on the actual device, this runs on your computer. And if you look up here, I believe the Android test. Nope. So I did a new project with the latest 1.4 version of Android Studio, and that means that this whole test thing is perfect setup, which is rare. So let's just show you how that works. We'll run example unit test. Wait a while, but my computer's pretty fast, so it should. 1 second, 350 milliseconds. Build finished. And then build Gradle. Use default. I thought there was a parallel. Well, I'm sure you guys will tell me. Ah, yes. How could I forget? You guys will run into this too, so it's probably good that I showed it. This stupid APK meta info / license thing is going to show up in the Gradle Android here. You'll have to say exclude APK meta / license. Ooh. Whatever the exclude is, so don't mind me real quick. I'm looking at the Gradle exclude from another project I've got. So build.gradle app build.gradle. Oh, sorry. It is packaging options exclude. So it's going to be that meta-inf / license, and I think notice. Maybe you just have license here and no notice, so does it? That should be it. Bam. Test route started. Main. No class found. You would think that if they provided one, that you would have a main. That is interesting. I did. So if you sometimes it runs weird, so I always make sure to run it. So all tests pass. Huzzah. And if you swap between them, you get the different ones. So, what do we want to do? Well, if we switch back, got a little whiteboard. Yeah. We've got our volley, OKHP, retrofit, mocked API. Well, we built none of these, we pulled none of them. If I want to start testing, well, let's start with, I will need a gross name. Oh. So we have a search of content, service, so we'll want to do, this is a video game, pop back here, create new class, we'll probably want mocked video game info. Yeah. If you guys are interested in where I'm getting, where they can be rating stuff, I'm using Lash shape here. And I know this one. I don't think I do anyway. Actually, yes, this one. But it's got information and search. Yeah, you just saw my key, whatever. So, then they have the API, video game information, number of our class that we want to build. So we'll probably call this guy. Well, if we're gonna do it, yeah, it's on the right one. Cool. It's on Android. So yeah, just to reiterate, Android instrument test means it would run on the application. So if I need any of the Android SDK stuff, then I need to run it on the Android instrumentation test. If I want to run it without worrying about the Android SDK, so it's like testing POJOs, testing raw things, then unit test, which this service may be just that. So we'll probably want to say mocked video game information service. Okay. So probably want to have this guy extends application tests. It's a good chance this could just go to the other one. So let me, oh yeah, you guys are probably mad, but sorry. That's how this stuff goes. Unit test. New drop class. Okay. Oh, no. So use the Mac. I don't know why this is not what I want to do. Where's the auto generate? Control O. Alt insert. Setup method for test method. Ooh. That right? Should need the test in front of it. So I don't like having test here because it's pretty redundant. Because test is there, and this was only required for JUnit 3. We shouldn't need it anymore. So we probably want to do. Let's see. How about? Ooh. Search validation. And search.
Video game information,
Oh,
F:\dev\dar, exiting narrator.
Has anyone else hit the narrator by accident? Bugs the crap out of me. I was like, ah, someone else here. Alright. So it's because I didn't do that. Beat this guy. See that thing bugs me, but it doesn't allow me. Here we go. Assert true. So here's what we need to say. We should have a private array list of search. How about array list of games? And here we would say that video game information. Oh. I was really surprised for a moment there. This needs to be a test. And then there's the mock video game for mission service. Those views. Minus the test. These things being wrong is totally on purpose. And we'll probably put this guy in setup. And I'll actually probably do this. Notice it's still there. Now say this. Dot search. Will give me back an array list of game. Mocked games equal that. So we will have given when then so assert true and mocked games equals games. So here is you gotta say for game in locked games. Game in games. You would then say game locked games dot contains actually, we know from this list here, if I look at this API for a second, let's go to search. We test this API. See that it's an object, an array result with a bunch of strings. So I think I can turn this into a string and be happy. And I can do the same here. I can turn that in here. So that's our thing, right? So we can say it's our true. Pop this in. Assert true. And we can have a message here where we can say, I can do string format. Games does not contain this game. And to which I would say game. Bam. So I take this array list of games. I think we can probably do this. In fact, let's make this Call of Duty our test. Equals array list. Bam. No, because I can't do this. That's kind of annoying. I was kind of hoping I could just do that. I obviously don't add initially a lot. So. Okay, so I expect to see a mock this. So in unit testing, this form of TV, I've got my what I need to build. I've got this search. And so now what I do here is I make a new Java class. Actually, let's do this. New package center services is what I would call them to differentiate them. And we will call this one mock video game information service. So now you see here that it exists now. So a little bit happier, but not quite. If I were to try to run this, you'd get mad at me. Look at that. Yeah, I knew it didn't like that. So now I should yell this about our little search. See the compiler details. Cannot find method search. It's a good thing. We've got to add search. Already fixed. Upstream for search. We'll probably need a term. So in this example, the term is this. Now, this isn't actually going to lend us much help. We'll make it better in a minute. The first thing you do is you try to make it work. There are no issues with this code, technically. So, mod game does not contain Call of Duty 3. Look at that. Proves that this was added. So, what would you do to make it work? Now you can take this thing and you can say guess it's all lowercase. Now what happens? We ended up running this guy again. Hey, look at that. Passed. But it's a smell, honestly. Why is it a smell? Because what we did here was just added directly. It's not a true mock of what we want. gives us the pass. So I kind of just wanted to say, like, what the difference is. If this is a bad test, it technically is right, passes the unit test, but it doesn't really give us any confidence that we're doing anything. Like at this point, what it's testing is an array list. We don't need to test that because it's an Android framework. It's a Java framework, not an Android thing. We don't need to test that. What we want to test is the response. And so to do that, what we'll actually want to do is actually take the JSON result that came back and load it from file, and from there test that we can go from the response of the API to the to this list. Where are we at? Where are we? Like, well, I don't know. My streaming page got messed up here. Live streaming. Should have had a timer going. This is my first attempt here. How long have we been going? Oh, 30 minutes. You know what? I think this is good enough for now. Not saying it's done. Totally not done. I just wanted to say this is step 1. Step 2, I'll show you how to load this stuff from file and get this unit test done. We're going to do further. I just don't want to make episodes hours and hours long. So, thank you for participating today. I don't think I have any comments in my stream. I've got 0 people for now. That's okay. I will get this uploaded and we'll have some fun. Stay tuned for my next episode.